Am I trying to make a robot for the fame and fortune? Actually, no. I was going to make it just quietly for myself, because I think it would be so cool and so helpful, and it could manufacture products for me, and it can do chores for me and cook for me, and just generally be a nice companion and take care of me when I get old. So I wouldn't need to have like a full-time caretaker if I'm like old and senile. My robot would then be my caretaker. So for all of those reasons, but the fame and fortune that will also come with it, which I really believe that is going to happen, um, is a nice bonus, even though it wasn't my original intent or goal to achieve those things. I think those are cool things to have, as long as they don't get to your head, but I'm not worried about that because I'm a very humble person. Why would a woman be able to take care of me? And you know what? That's a lie. And here's how I know that. This is very important. If you think when you get old, your wife's going to take care of you, think again. Because my grandma and grandpa were married for, I don't know, 50 or 60 years. Very much in love, got along great. And my grandpa walked out to get the mail one day, and he stepped on their welcome mat. It slid out from under him because it was like a slippery mat. And he fell backwards and hit his head really hard. So hard that his eyeball came out of socket. So that's a hard hit. And it gave him a really bad concussion, and he had some loss of memory issues and all kinds of stuff. And he went to the hospital, and he started getting, like he had to be in bed for weeks. And then they put him in a nursing home to continue his recovery. And they didn't give him, what's it called? Rehab. They didn't put him through rehab. And so his muscles just began to atrophy, and before you knew it, he's in a wheelchair. And then he came back home and was with my grandma for a while, and she was having a hard time taking care of him because he needed help with even getting out of the wheelchair to sit on the toilet. And he needed help eating and preparing meals, and his mind was going very quickly, entering dementia all of a sudden. Like, this is all happening within a year. And then what happened next? Well, she considered her options. She could either hire a full-time caregiver or she could put him in a nursing home, and she chose to put him in a nursing home. And so, boom, he's in a nursing home. This all happened like in 16 to 18 months. And yeah, he ended up dying in the nursing home about a year and a half to 2 years later. And she actually, ironically, died about a year after that as well. She was taking a lot of blood thinners because she had some corroded arteries. And then she got in a car accident and had a micro lesion on a nerve in her skull. And because of the blood thinners, it caused internal bleeding, and it didn't heal up like it naturally would have. And so the bleeding was happening internally, and it was putting a lot of pressure on her brain, and it caused a stroke. And when they called the family and said, like, we can drain this blood out and save her life, but she's probably going to be a vegetable or something, the family just said to take her off life support. So she died. This all happened like 2 years ago. It's really depressing because I love them both very much. But the point is, if they would have had a robot to take care of my grandpa, he probably would have gotten rehab. The robot would have put him through rehab, would have taken good care of him. It would have been a lot easier on my grandma, so she would have worked with him and encouraged him to work out and stuff. And it would have been a lot better situation for them. And then she probably wouldn't have gotten in a car accident and hit her head because she was probably feeling depressed and lonely and not paying attention at the road and just going through depression and feeling like loss of purpose in life because she had no one to take care of anymore. And an empty house syndrome. Empty nest syndrome, they call it. Causes depression in women who are used to taking care of people. And so, yeah, everything fell apart. Everyone died. If they would have had a robot to take care of my grandpa, they would still be here today, I believe. So this idea that, oh, when I get old and senile and something happens, my wife will take care of me. You can't assume that an old lady is going to be able to take care of you. She's going to be old too. Unless if you marry a woman 40, 50 years, you're what's it called? You're a junior? 40 or 50 years, you're a junior? I'm not sure. 40 or 50 years younger than you, then yeah, maybe she'll be able to take care of you, but she's going to be old as heck if she's within like a 10 year gap from you. She's going to be old too. And even though she might physically be able to take care of you, it might be too much for her to take care of herself and take care of you when she's getting up there in age, like 70s, 80s, 90s. So even if she was a great wife and very loving, there's no guarantee that she's going to actually feel like taking care of you. She might be like, you know what, it's just easier for me to stick you in a nursing home. So, no, I don't trust that my wife would be able to carry me through that situation. Because I know that if you're like, oh well, if you marry a good woman, she'll stand by you and take care of you if you need it when you're old. My grandma was the best of women. Like, she was a great woman, and she even wasn't willing to do it. Like, she did it for 4 or 5 months, but eventually just hearing him call her name for everything. I need to use the bathroom, get over here. I need a meal, get over here. I need to blow my nose, get me something. Like, it was just too much. It was just nonstop. Her life became like hell. And so yeah, that's what robots are for. Like, I would be like, Adam, I need to blow my nose. Adam, I need you to wipe my butt. Adam, I need you to get me a sandwich. So my wife wouldn't be like hating me because I'm just too needy. So yeah, like, everybody's gonna want to have a robot when they're that old. But even when you're not old, it'd be super nice to have that anyways. So yeah, that's not what a wife's for, in other words. So I combat your statement that that's what a woman's for. That's not. She won't do it.